Pacquiao was asked about it, Manny Pacquiao refused to comment on who his next opponent was going to be. So Michael Kant, somebody was lying. Somebody out there either took a story and ran with it and said Michael Kantz told them, or Michael Kantz is putting bullshit out on the internet, which is going to get him in trouble by both Manny Pacquiao and Bob Arum. Because he has no business talking Arum or Pacquiao's negotiating if he doesn't really know what's going on. So one of the two things happened. If Michael Kantz isn't in trouble, I think this is going to go down as a rumor started on the internet, taken out of
out of Manila. I mean, I stole it from a great location, but I love the Manila news. They like the two things that I watch religiously are Manny Pacquiao's Facebook feed and the Manila news about Manny Pacquiao. Both set up so that I can watch them, and both of them are quite entertaining because Manny Pacquiao.
I believe them then.
They're not as crazy as the rest of the world, but they claim that it's legit.
And like Manny Pacquiao is the biggest star out there, Lee. I'm sure they have reporters and insiders and guys watching him. Like it's probably a go that Vargas is going to get this fight, and it should happen. Listen, Terence Crawford is a pay-per-view fighter. His numbers were not good on his first run, but that doesn't change the fact that he made it there. HBO is going to put their name behind him, and they're going to run with him. Jesse Vargas has a great opportunity at making himself a pay-per-view attraction if he is to defeat Manny Pacquiao. And on the flip side, HBO doesn't lose a dime if Manny Pacquiao defeats Jesse Vargas. One, there's a lot of Mexican fighters. Another one will come down the grapevine. That's just the truth of the matter. And two, Manny Pacquiao versus Terence Crawford is going to be a bigger sale if both of them have another 2 wins under their belt before they meet. So everyone's mad saying Manny cherry-picked Vargas, which is not true. Vargas is the better option for Manny at this point in his career, who really has nothing to prove. He's actually doing HBO and Bob Arum a favor on taking the lesser of the two opponents. Because if he loses, I'm telling you right now, Jesse Vargas is going to start getting his share of pay-per-view fights. The HBO needs this. We've talked about it, Lee, how they need pay-per-view fighters. Do not be surprised that Jesse Vargas is getting a shot on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Remember, his only loss was against Timothy Bradley, where the referee stopped the fight before the final bell while Bradley was out on his legs. It could have been a great start to Jesse Vargas's career in HBO. Unfortunately, it wasn't. The ref took that away from him. But this could bring it all back. And he has the style to give Manny problems. He has a great right hand, and he's a good boxer. He might not have a lot of power, even though it seems that his move up to the welterweight division has given him a little bit of power, more power than he had at the junior welterweight. So we will see. But I love the right hand. I like the boxing ability. I think this is a good fight for both guys.
All right. That was a clear analysis. Frampton, Santa Cruz, peaked at 500,000 plus or minus views.
Terrible.
Santa Cruz seeking an immediate rematch. Why are you surprised it's only 500,000 people? Nobody knows who the fuck they are.
I know, right? They say fighting on free TV gets these guys more exposure. So where is it?
No,
where is it?
Again, I will explain marketing to all people in boxing because none of you understand it. You have to tell me about the fighters to make me want to watch the fighters. The reason I watch Adrian Broner fight is because I want everybody to knock him out. Not a few. I will watch every Adrian Broner fight for the rest of my life.
Right.
Okay.
Chavez Jr. has the same.
Chavez Jr. same thing. Like I can't get enough. I will pay money to go see Chavez Jr. because I think his nervous breakdown is going to happen. Like I'm so excited that Chavez Jr. is going to have a breakdown. He did. We saw it. He had a breakdown at StubHub.
Yeah. He also had a breakdown in this last training camp. He disappeared from Top Rank. He just left, Lee. He's coming up. Continue.
That to me is entertaining. It makes me happy. No, that
Frampton,
go ahead.
Santa Cruz. One thing that hurt this fight also, Lee, is the fact that Santa Cruz has been tagged as a cherry picker fighter. He had 2 fights on pay-per-view under Floyd Mayweather, where he literally in one fought a guy that they told us was his friend outside of the ring, literally friends, and the other guy was an ex-sparring partner. Mexicans are not stupid boxing fans. They're very in tune with the sport. They love it like they love soccer, and they do not tune in when they feel a fighter is taking the easy road. And the Al Haymon way right now, to a lot of outside fans looking in, is the easy road. He lost credibility. He lost star power when he did that. I had Santa Cruz on the list of fighters that have lost momentum as they've switched over to the PBC. He was that guy. I believe that was a big reason why he lost in New York. That was a pro Frampton crowd. Frampton had just sold 80,000 seats against Scott Quigg. I got it right, fans. Thank you very much. Scott Quigg, they did great, fans out there. He comes over here for the first time and does 8,000, 9,000 on his first run out here. No, he has a bigger market. He was winning the closer rounds. Now, Santa Cruz wants an immediate rematch, and I love that. Santa Cruz should, with all the power he has with the PBC, demand that this rematch happen. Because I'm telling you right now, Lee, in the last 2 rounds, he figured out Frampton. He realized that his 7-inch reach advantage, I believe it was, did play a major effect in the fight and started really bringing it to Frampton at the end. I don't think that stops in the second fight. I think round 1 is going to be round 13, and Santa Cruz will have the smaller fighter figured out. It wasn't hard. It was very sad that the Santa Cruz team took so long to figure out the puzzle, but they did. Straight right hands were landing. Every time Frampton got in the inside and touched Santa Cruz, he was responding with the 7-inch reach advantage, and it was hitting home. I don't see him changing that. Immediate rematch I would call for. I have Santa Cruz winning and then them having a third fight.
Okay. You got a lot in on that one, Andrew. I'm proud of you.
Yes,
Roger
sir.
Mayweather is still missing. For those of you who don't know.
They found him, Lee.
He went
Stop
missing
it.
last Sunday. He was
Right after our
safe.
show, darn
Later
it.
that day, was he at his nephew's new strip club? No, he wasn't. I don't know where he was, but he was missing a long time.
Yes, the cops are not releasing where they found Mr. Mayweather, Roger Mayweather at.
Why not?
And well, that gives us the chance to, let's guess. And my first guess was he was at his nephew's strip club.
Okay.
Or with the girlfriend. Come on. Lee, how do the cops find you but aren't releasing where they found you at? Come on now.
Well, if you're Oscar, that means that you're in lingerie.
Yeah, if it's Oscar, it means a picture's coming with it. Oscar would have turned himself in with the camera. Come on now.
Bob Arum says Terence Crawford is still in play for Pacquiao. I don't believe that.
I don't either. I don't either.
I think it's Terence Crawford versus Marquez. I think Crawford Marquez makes the most sense because Crawford will kill Marquez.
I love that fight.
And it'll be a good looking fight.
Yes. Leon, look at
fight.
People.
Because Marquez, I'm no longer going to be anti Juan Manuel Marquez, and I'm going to say why. Clearly, Marquez wants to die in the ring.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever, bro. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. At least Eric Morales at some point finally went, I can't do this anymore. And then he went to Mexico and still did it. So if you're going to do it, you might as well go to Vegas and make your family as much money as possible. I know that sounds really crappy on my part, but that's what's going to happen. I mean, that is legitimately what's going to happen. Marquez is a battered,
warrior with a bad knee.
Yeah, it's a great fight for Crawford. That'll make him a great payday.
It's for everyone. HBO, Top Rank, Crawford. You're talking 1 million buys, and both fighters are going to demand what? Maybe 4 to 5 million of the pot. Everything else, 30 million, that will be split up against the networks easily. This is a sellout in Las Vegas. Yep. This is a sellout on pay-per-view. If you liked the Marquez versus Cotto matchup and thought that was legit. How do you not find Crawford moving up from 140 to 147 and facing Juan Manuel Marquez as his first opponent? Lee, there are how many fighters in the welterweight division that haven't faced Marquez, and you're telling me Crawford will do it on his first run? I love this fight. If he's not ready, Marquez is truly going to expose that. He might have a bad knee. He still has one of the best counter right hands in the sport. I'm not saying he wins the fight, but he will expose whatever flaws Crawford has going into that division. And it's a sellout. This fight makes perfect sense. The Vargas versus Pacquiao makes perfect sense. You're either going to have a changing of the guard or you're going to have a 1 million, 1.5 million pay-per-view buy. Granted, Marquez versus Pacquiao both don't win. Damn it, I would hate to see that, Lee. But either way the other two go, if it's not Marquez versus Pacquiao, HBO has succeeded in making another pay-per-view star.
Nonito Donaire versus Oscar Veldez
Love it.
No,
Yes.
I don't want Nonito to fight anymore.
Well, you stop it with the guys too old. Nonito Donaire is not that old, Lee. This is an awesome fight. Once again, it's a changing of the guard on Top Rank's part. Oscar Veldez is probably the best prospect they have right now. Felix Verdejo is right there, people. Don't get me wrong. But Valdez is right behind him. Actually, them two is probably going to be a super fight here in the near future also. But Donaire Valdez can't pass that up. You put that on the undercard of Pacquiao versus Vargas. Come on, this is a great card. You could put this fight with Crawford versus TBA, and that's a great pay-per-view card. So the fact that Top Rank's talking about it, I love it. Both of them are champions right now. Nonito would be moving up to face Valdez. It's just a great fight.
Miguel Cotto versus James Kirkland. And
it's a retirement fight, I'll tell you that. Somebody is retiring after this fight.
Well, I thought Kirkland should have retired a while ago. So
right? That's what I mean, Lee. If he gets knocked out again, I don't see him saying, I'll be back. I can't even talk how Kirkland does because it's more just like a stutter now. But no, it's a great fight on paper. It was a great fight 5 years ago, but in 2016, I don't know what Kirkland versus Cotto is really going to bring us. I'm thinking like a Joey Gamache versus Chavez type fight. You remember that, Lee, when they were both past their prime, but still threw a hell of a lot of punches, got bloody for the crowd. I could see something like that, but this leads both of these men nowhere. Kirkland, it leads him to the PBC possibly.
Okay. That takes us to Billy Joe Saunders versus Gabe Rosado on the undercard to Alvarez versus Smith. Winner gets Canelo in December. I don't really give a shit who fights Canelo anymore. He's not going to fight anybody.
I'm telling you right
now, I'm calling it. Canelo is the new Mayweather. He will never fight anybody.
I don't know if he can beat Billy Joe Sanders, Lee. Serious. Billy Joe Sanders looked pretty good in his title-winning defense against, his name just left me, the other Irish kid. Come on, Lee.
I don't know.
Ah, damn it, I forgot his damn name.
I don't... You think
Andy
I actually...
Lee. Andy Lee.
Andy Lee.
There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. He looked good. Canelo hasn't looked good. I'm not really impressed with Saul Alvarez anymore. That's why they've been really careful on who they're picking to put in the ring with him. And Billy Joe Sanders, I don't know if that's that guy. Really don't. Surprised De La Hoya has left the Manny Pacquiao thing alone. Maybe they fear Manny, but I could have swore where Manny's at right now, that's the best fight for Saul. But maybe Saul's getting ready for Triple G. Maybe he's gonna flip the script on everyone and really take a Triple G fight. Billy Joe's a middleweight, so there is no catch weight for this fight. He would be fighting for the WBO middleweight title. Gabe Rosado. Oh, Oscar's begging that Gabe Rosado somehow pulls off the upset. Gabe Rosado has been recycled so many times. It's kind of sad. It's like whenever they need a pay-per-view fill-in, they grab this kid. And he comes with a different tattoo and a different pair of sunglasses every time and plays the role very nicely. He just doesn't show up when it's time to actually